The amazing drama you're about to see is a matter of human record. You may believe it or not. But the real people who lived this story, they believe it. They know. They took that one step beyond.
So everybody doing breaking news coming in right now. Just arrived at the airport of Mexico and just saw some really disturbing images from what is going on right now in the country of Nicaragua. Socialist dictator President Daniel Ortega has ordered leftist groups and also radical leftist groups and also to whatever the population and whoever in the population of Nicaragua wants to radicalize and attack and destroy churches and also important religious images, they are free to do so. In his mind and in his agenda, he is releasing the Nicaraguan population to do as what they want to do. As right now, radical leftist groups are destroying churches and are destroying images, burning down churches, and also destroying everything that has to do with the Christian and Catholic religion in the country of Nicaragua. These are some images and some video of what is happening right now. Sadly, on that socialist country, we are showing how Mexico is going down due to a cartel radical state that we are now under high alert and insecurity, and now this in Nicaragua. Next, you're going to see a lot of Nicaraguan citizens running away from persecution from this dictatorship as it has been happening for the past months. God bless you all. Stay safe. And like we always say, people, peace and love. Because always your country's first. I might dare to say that right now, I strongly believe that Jesus is coming. Stay safe.
Yeah, it's gone. And I'm not here. This isn't happening. I'm not
Okay, everybody. Good evening. Sorry about that long wait. Guys, I can't be long tonight. We have more alarms going off. More. You kidding me? We did get the some of the info went out the other day to our friends in Italy before they were hit with something that the USA is about to be hit with, and Europe. These storms are brutal. There have been some fatalities in Italy concerning those storms, and I suspect they're going to have more. But the USA is about to get hit with something so similar. So I hope you guys are prepped for that, because a lot of people are not. They're not aware of that. Of course, you guys, if you don't know about that storm, they had a windstorm with large hail, right? And the wind speeds were at 140 miles per hour. Gusts were detected in the upper half of about 162, I believe it was. It's pretty fast, 162 mile an hour gusts. Wind speeds again were 140 miles per hour. So I want you guys to imagine that coming to the USA without, any type of hurricane or something like that, but lots of wind. It's coming. Some of the temperature differentials are permitting this to happen, and heavier weighted upper atmospheres are just dropping. In other words, we have the part of the upper atmosphere is becoming very dense, moving winds at just enormous velocities. I hope you guys are prepped for that, because it can, this winter, when this winter comes along and some of the heat mixes with that cold, we're going to see some wind speeds we've not ever seen before. And of course, just in case you don't know this, in the wintertime is where you have these sustained winds that blow just like that. So prep yourselves for that. Prep your mind for that. Because no doubt, just like Italy, they had fatalities and lots of injuries. You'll no doubt do the same thing here. And based on the density of that location, which was quite small, I would suspect that the casualty rate in the USA could be around 500-600 people, possibly more. You know, depending on how broad this storm is that will form. Just in case you have not been watching, some of these pop-up storms that happen from normally from about 9 a.m. to about 4 p.m. They've been happening like this almost on a daily basis. Quite brutal. Arizona is about to have some flooding once again. And of course, we still have lakes drying up. Radiation is very intense on the surface of the earth. And of course, this is not helping the issue. So the earth is going to look quite different. We're going to have some challenges. Now, we have alarms going off in several places. I'm going to try to narrow those down and with breakneck pace, get some data up for you guys so that you can see. One of my specific motivations is that you guys be properly warned of things like that. You know, at least a caution, which is going to become crucial in the days to come. So there are we lost a couple of sensors yesterday also due to some of the more dramatic happenings around the world, but no worries. These are very cheap sensors. They're about $2 a piece, right? About $2 a piece. Sensors are quite cheap. They're essentially Hall effect transistors in a configuration that gives us quite a bit of data. And we have lots of data points that continually stream in the COT. That's what the alarms are for. Once they hit or once a certain pattern is detected, the alarms go off for a specific thing. So the entirety of the USA is under threat right now from some of these pop-up storms. Canada, there's a cold air mass building in Canada, which will no doubt drop and force the jet stream near some high and low pressure systems, causing some very compact isobars. So I wouldn't be surprised if people saw more derechos. Wouldn't be surprised if that. And of course, derechos are high winds that take place, sustained winds, of course, but they travel over over several states. So I wouldn't be shocked to see those either. All right. Certain out to sea, hopefully nobody is out to sea. That's a very dangerous place right now. But they are rerouting quite a few vessels to get them out of the way of some of these storm systems that are forming. Now, I know everybody is looking in the Gulf to see what develops there, but to be truthful with you, temperatures are sustained so well. It's not going to pick up that much of that differential pressure needed to generate some of these heavier winds. But we can't say that about some of the other storms that are forming, right? And again, the earth is changing continually. The atmosphere is becoming quite dense continually. And mankind is not helping it, with threats of nuclear power plants. Of course, Russia agreed. They agreed to have some people inspect that plant. Hopefully you guys are aware of that too. So we'll see how that goes. That is a threat point, but it's going to pale in comparison to the weather phenomena. Guys, get used to high winds. Get used to fog. persistent fog, persistent high winds. This winter, bitter cold, followed by extraordinary heat. Get yourselves ready for that. Weather is going to be a phenomenon that it's going to take a toll on just about all of us. Now, again, guys, I can't stay tonight. We have too much we're preparing for COT. Now, I will likely be on tonight during the midnight hour, if that's okay with you guys, to discuss, to continue to discuss part of the layout we're going to have for, I guess you could call them a few classes, blocks of instruction concerning biblical prophecy in a very realistic way, right? Immediate things that will affect you all within the next few weeks, right? I would like to go over certain elements of that tonight at the midnight hour. Right now, I'm going to try to narrow down these alarms. People died yesterday, and I want you guys to think of this. We had that the other day, right? The other night, I was on air with you guys. Alarms were going off. And this was the first midnight hour. Alarms were going off. We barely got warnings out after we, kind of parsed or dug through that data. Barely got warnings out. People died the other day because they couldn't move fast enough, and certain people could not get out of the way of that. And we were warning that specific area. We'll be doing a lot of that COT, and it's going to take more than me, more than the crew we have right now. We're going to have to expand that out. But if we had not, I thank God that He had us in position to be able to do that. That was quite needful. But we did alert certain individuals, and they were able to make it out of the area about 5 hours prior to that anything happening. Well, we have more alarms going off. Now, overseas, they're much more responsive to, any message or warning than anybody would be in the USA. I hate to say that, but that's the truth. Overseas, if COT were to put out an email warning to some of these folks, they would act almost immediately. In the USA, well, chances are slim to none because there are too many sources to go to. But I'll tell you something in a very crude way. As casualties pile up, people will desire to know how they can be safe. That's got to be natural. That gives us both an opportunity, if we stay diligent with these warnings, and gives us an opportunity, right? And it also helps us stave off some of the damages these families are going to undergo, right? As time continues. So these weather phenomena, space troubles, different situations that are starting to form, right? They're going to become quite serious. And that takes a lot of responsibility, a lot of boldness to act on data that nobody else is speaking of, right? It also takes a lot of concentration, lots of prayer. Spiritual guidance is necessary. It is a key. And for the last 6 warnings, thank God that was a good job we did. But the entertainment side of things, for those who, just think the information is interesting, one of the reasons I do direct emails is so that we're not talking about that very topic on air because we don't want to attract attention when people's lives are at stake, right? We need people to hear. It's kind of like a child. If you get bad news every day, well, a time will come when you need your children to listen to you. And if you have them conditioned to this terrible, rotten news, and you're not very thorough behind it, very serious behind it, chances are they're not going to react quick enough. And it's going to cost them. But if you are straightforward, diligent, very serious, right, and have some sort of operating procedure behind how you warn people, it's going to get their attention. Hopefully they act on it, especially this winter, right? And of course, the weather is very unpredictable. It is very unpredictable and dangerous. So I wouldn't be shocked in America if we face 150 sustained winds of 156 miles an hour coming up. 156. Mountainous regions would probably face a bit more, right? This fall, everybody should be preparing for a very different winter. And I pray this is not the winter that I had an off-the-wall dream. What was it, last year? Last year, I believe it was, about the winter, how that nothing survived the winter. It just forged or just destroyed everything. It was nothing but dirt. Not even ruins were left, right, after that winter. So I'm prayerful that this is not the one, but we do know that at some point, wintertime is going to become very deadly, right? Now, more and more things are pointing towards instabilities that this winter could be one of the big ones, right? One of the great ones. I know that many people are waiting for the Farmer's Almanac to come out. That comes out when? Does that come out next month? Or is it this month? I forget. Anyway, we're going to produce our own forecast for watches, things to watch, right? And track this weather as it continues to develop, because it's about to get very dangerous, right? And it's better to have situational awareness concerning weather so that you're not running around with low confidence, but rather it'd be good that you know the conditions so that you can help somebody else, right? Calm people. Be a voice of reason in the place where you're at. Not somebody who's going to go out and make people panic twice as much, right? We still have to remain effective in any of these conditions that we find ourselves in, okay? But with that, folks, I'm going to do this. I'm going to come back. I'll probably come back at the midnight hour. That's not a promise, but I'll probably do that. I'm going to get some more, fix your throat type thing. I want my throat back to normal. It's doing pretty good right now, but I can also feel it straining just a bit. At any rate, I want you guys to hang in there. Hang in there. I'll be in the chat room here shortly. Hopefully you guys are rested. Hopefully you are. And to those people in Italy, we're praying for your families, for the families who have endured loss, and for a lot of those families who now have nothing because that storm just totally tore to pieces. So we're praying for you. America and Europe and the UK, these are dangerous days, and our prayers are going out to those nations as well, right? We live on the cusp of global change, sheer global change, and there are so many things to cover, right? So many things to cover. Out of respect, though, for you guys, I'm not going to jam that information in these talks. What I will do, though, is go over a structured talk concerning how this weather phenomena is actually developing, because we are looking at a reversal of the jet stream coming up. That's going to change any temperate forest regions into arid and dry regions. In fact, that's happening right now on the west coast of America and in several other places. We're having a change in what they are classified as, right? Some places are becoming super arid, which means super dry. Some places, well, they're becoming a little bit too wet. Mildew will begin to form. Molds, brand new bacteria, it's kind of like that brain-eating bacteria that's on the loose in most water systems. So there's a lot to cover. There really is. Not to mention some of these, thank God we're polarized with the right polarity, or this, some of the solar radiation would have really taken its toll on us. Now, we haven't felt the grunt of the sun yet, but I'm sure that at some point we're not going to be polarized with the right polarity. that's going to cost us. That'll throw us back into the Stone Ages for a little bit. That will likely happen also, but all that's in the Father's hands. All that will happen according to the Father's will for our lives. But as the Lord said, the children must be secure first, right? He's not going to do anything like that until the children are secured first, right? We had to be secured first. So that's a blessing, although we will have wake-up calls, right? We most certainly will have wake-up calls. Anyway, folks, listen, I don't want to hold you. I'm not going to hold myself because I can feel I can feel a little giving out here, right? I'm going to be back here shortly, hopefully. I can't promise that, unfortunately. But I have to put some of this data together in a useful, readable manner so that all of you guys can be updated on what is to come, what we see forming, and what will likely happen again, unfortunately. All right? With that, I'm going to say God bless all of you. And hopefully, I'm going to see you guys in a few hours. And we'll have a nice discussion about some of these things that we just discussed just now. God bless each of you. I hope to see you guys here shortly. All right? God bless.